What up, guys? This is part 2 of the pros and cons of working at UPS. If you haven't seen part 1, you can check the link in the description. You can also go find the video on my channel. There's going to be a lot of information, mostly talking about the cons. It's really helpful, a lot of information. See you at the end of the video. So, the main con is that everything's it might be a pro depending on where you stand. But a con is that everything is seniority based. So let's say you just come in and you want to move to a different part of the warehouse. Let's say you want to go to small sort because it's easier. It's not in the trailers. You don't have to deal with the same type of things that they deal with on load side or unload, for example. Everyone that has more time in before you, everyone that has been at that company before you will get chosen over you. And sometimes the list to transfer to do something else is very long. If you want to become a driver, other people that have been there before you have their name on that list. So they're going to pick the person that has 4 years over the person that has 3 years, the person that has 3 years over the person that has 2 years, etc., etc. So depending on what kind of warehouse or where you're at, how big the warehouse is and who's there, it might take you a long time to do the things that you want to do. So that could be a pretty big con for a lot of people. Con number 2 is that the pay is low. You might have a good starting pay depending on where you work, but for the most part, you don't get that many hours. I think they're trying to raise the starting hours to about 25 to 30 hours a week, which is maybe around like $200 a week, which honestly, if you're an adult, you're trying to function in the world, it's not that much. So you're probably gonna have to get a second job or something else if you're trying to really support yourself. Like I said, this job is better for younger people that are like living with their parents or somebody, or they're in school, they're getting financial aid money as well. For the most part, if you're an adult, you're trying to take care of your family and whatnot, this really doesn't pay that much. I mean, it's probably about, I want to say like 900 to maybe 1,000 a month. So that's not that much. So you want to be careful when considering if you're gonna work here, because it's definitely not for the money, especially if you're entering in an entry-level position, a package handler position. Another big con is the damage to your body. I mean, you're gonna get hurt no matter what. You're gonna get hurt at least once. Honestly, when I was working in the trailers, I got hurt every single day. I have scars all over my arms. I have cuts on my wrist that make it look like I tried to kill myself at some point. Like these long paper cut scars going across, going down. It's pretty bad. A wall of boxes fell on me and I got a concussion. That was pretty bad. I was out of work for like a month and I didn't feel right for about 2 months-ish before I fully recovered from that. Even when I do everything right, I still got hurt. I think I was doing bulk one day and someone had dropped like a metal weight down a slide, and I had my hand on the back of a bar and the weight crushed my hand and it basically tore my skin open, and I didn't feel it, but I looked at my glove and my entire glove was red. It went from completely white glove to red. So that's the one thing you have to keep in mind, is it's gonna damage your body, and especially your back. Like it's gonna catch up to you. There's no way around it. So think about what you're gonna be doing. What are your goals going into this? Are you gonna try to stay on the floor for 20 years? If you're gonna do that, I mean, you definitely need to be using your seniority to get to easier areas outside of the unload, outside of load side, which are easier on your body, like small sort, or you can belt tend, or you can do bulk. Not bulk and unload, I mean bulk like the bulk areas where they're moving bulk on rollers or whatever, where you're not putting so much strain on your body. So con number 4 is management is just horrible. Sometimes they don't pay you right, so you gotta be mindful of how many hours you're working. If you're doing overtime, you got to make sure they put in your hours correctly and they pay you your overtime. You got to make sure they're paying you for your breaks. Okay, so the break thing is they don't give you the proper amount of breaks they should be giving you sometimes. So you have to make sure they're paying you for the break they're not giving you, which adds up over the course of maybe like a year or 2 years that you're working. So if they're not giving you a 10-minute break every day for a year, that 10 minutes is going to add up to a sizable amount of money. Another thing they do is, let's say you're coming in on a day where there's no shift working after you. Sometimes they'll tell you, oh, we're working 4 hours. Just come in, we're working our normal 4-hour, 5-hour shift. So when you get there, they'll be like, all right, we're going to get out of here. All right, you guys need to bust these doors, break these doors, and we're going to get out of here right now. And then they'll come back and then they'll call a lunch and they'll be like, okay, we're taking a lunch. We're actually working 7 hours, 8 hours. So they do that and it's really annoying. You come in, you have other plans for the day, or you didn't eat. Especially when you didn't eat, it's really annoying when they do this. It's just annoying. I don't know why they do it. They should just tell us how long the shift's gonna be and be straight up with us. Another thing that you have to watch out for with management is your actual manager, like the building manager. So if this manager is coming down from wherever he's at, his office, and he's on the floor micromanaging everybody, then it's gonna be chaos, and it happens way too often. So the structure is you have a supervisor that watches over your section or your area, your team, whatever. Then you have a full-time. Full-time is who your supervisor reports to. The full-time is your boss. Don't piss off your full. They're the ones that let the supervisors know what to do. They coordinate everybody to work as they need things to be done. So your supervisor should be able to handle things the way your full-time would want them handled. So your full-time is running like an entire area. Your full-time runs like the entire unload. So now your manager comes down and your manager goes directly to the supervisors while your full-time's out. The manager is telling your supervisors to have things done their way, and then he takes off, and then your full-time comes back and things are being done a completely different way, and it just causes so much chaos, so much yelling, and it's so annoying. If everyone's not on the same page, it's completely annoying, and it's complete chaos, and it happens way too often. So that's one thing that you gotta look out for, and really you're the one that suffers from this micromanaging that the manager does. If the manager is letting people do their jobs, then you have a good manager. If the manager is coming down and telling people how to do their jobs and telling them what to do, then you have a bad manager. Remember that. All right, and con number 5, and this is an important one because you're going to be dealing with this every single day. Coworkers. Sometimes you get horrible coworkers, like bottom of the barrel. Like people that are coming to work high every day, coming to work on drugs every day, doing drugs at work. Just shitty people that do horrible things in their lives at home, and then they'll come to work talking about it, bragging about it. So this part ended up being a little too personal with a little too much detail, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out. I mean, use your imagination. So yeah, you have to kind of deal with annoying people sometimes. Annoying or dangerous or violent people, or people that you really might not want to be associated with. So that's one thing to watch out for. With all that said, the pros, the cons was like 7 pros, 5 cons. With that said, is UPS a good place to work? My opinion is I'm mixed on it. It really depends on what your reason for being there is. If you're there for money, hell no. No. It is not a great place to. But if you're planning to, maybe you're in school, maybe you need something that works with your schedule, then yes, it's good. Maybe you don't have education going for you, and you probably don't have any way else to move up to something better in the outside world, like a different job somewhere else. Maybe, especially if you need health benefits. Let's say you're in school for like business administration or something, and you want to have a foot in the door for like a better paying management position somewhere. Definitely a good place, but you need to go supervisor like as soon as you can. Then there are other things you can do from there. So maybe that's a good idea if you want to get your foot in the door for like business administration or like marketing, any business degree really. So they have a lot of other different positions that they hire internally for. So once you become a supervisor, let's say you have a degree in like, I don't know, some kind of like film production or like HR or like IT especially. They have positions that they hire for internally that you can apply for, and you're almost guaranteed to get the job if you qualify. But if you really don't have a plan, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth the damage to your body especially. So you should just get a job somewhere else because you're probably going to make more money. You're probably going to be a lot better off health-wise. But that's on you guys. I gave you all the information I could. So you decide, what do you think? Do you think you would work there? Or do you think, no, I'm not going to do this? Thanks for letting me know. So let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? That's all I got for today. Hope this helped. I'm out. Peace.